The story literally, jumped in front of my face. I wasn't really the story, it was more so Ariel. I met her doing another project, and I was doing deep research in the Diamond District, and I came across her, and she happened to have been apprenticing there, and her 2 weeks overlapped somehow with the tail end of my 2.5 years. And I met her, and I had no idea what her situation was. I had no idea that she was a homeless, addicted junkie with this crazy boyfriend, and I just kind of became her friend. And the closer we became friends, the more and more I got inspired, as I do, by my friends, and then I started to commission her writings and direct them.
The best thing you actually said once was that it was the end of the workday, and everybody was leaving, and everybody's usually rushing through the turnstiles, but she was just kind of like very relaxed, just like trying to get her car. It wasn't working, but she was just trying to get it through. And you're like, oh, that's strange. She was
the Metro card she is actually using is the card that the Methadone Clinic gives you. They give you a 2-ride per day card, and a lot of people at the Methadone Clinic sell them. They go down to the subway and they sell their 2-ride Metro cards for 1 ride of cash, and then they go and then they buy like a Xanax bar out of it.
And so it's her personal story, right? Why'd you decide to have her play her own role?
It's her. You just said it. It's her personal story. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Listen, the only reason people are even attracted to movie stars, like right now, if Benny was Tom Cruise and I was Brad Pitt, what we would be. There would be a different vibe in this room. Everybody would kind of be on edge, and everyone would want to whatever comes with celebrity. But there's something that starts that. Those stars have to start at some point, and there's something that makes somebody have a gravitational pull like that. That's why they're called stars. And it wasn't even her story that made me want to make this movie. It was her stardom that made me want to make the movie. So it wasn't like, oh, here's this crazy story, who are we going to cast? It's like, here's this incredible person who's such a movie star. What kind of movie can we make with her? Oh, her story is incredible, and we wanted to make this fusion of kind of this reality and fiction.
That's it. Is that the movie wouldn't exist?
Not it.
No, the movie wouldn't exist without her playing her part. Like that psychological process
to
was
even
important.
acknowledge that decision though is untrue. It was not a movie. It was only a movie because of her.
Yeah.
So like to imply that there was a decision is not even. It's just irrelevant.
Well, our producer, he would once in a while he'd be like, you know what, we could recast this role. I'm like, no, that's impossible.
Well, he would say that to her.
That's impossible. That's
intimidating.
The two things are inseparable.
And as far as the cast goes, aside from Kate Jones, how did you get the other people?
Well, originally Edward Furlong was playing the Scully character, and then something happened, and literally 2 days before we had to figure something out. And Necro is a rapper who I've known about since I was 17, and he has an incredible music video called "I Need Drugs." And when it came out, it was very hard to get your hands on. When you did get your hands on it, you kind of felt like you had to wash them afterwards because it has this real vibe. I mean, it's great because it approaches the video, and I suggest everybody go out and watch this video. It's called "I Need Drugs." I mean, it's a cult video, so I'm sure you've already seen it. But in the video, he's singing a rap song. He's like an underground rapper. He invented gore rap, and he's singing "I Need Drugs" to the tune of LL Cool J's "I Need Love," and it's about his uncle, who's a legendary junkie in New York named Uncle Howie. And the video is him at Uncle Howie's apartment while Uncle Howie's banging dope and smoking crack, and but there's a lightness to the video because it's his uncle and there's such a knowing relationship there. So it's he's just there, and it's when you watch, you're like, wow, this is crazy. Is this guy just mocking this man? But you don't feel that. You just know this is they're related. So whatever, Elaine or Hendrix, who has acted in our film, was one of the other professional actors who played Erica. She was the one who suggested, she was also a casting director, she said, I think we should get Necro to play Scully, because the real Scully was obsessed with Necro. And we were like, how are we going to get in touch with Necro? It's not like a Hollywood actor where you can just pick up the phone and call their agent. He's Necro, he's yes, he has a website, you can just write the email, but he's not going to answer. He gets thousands of emails from crazy fans all day. So we went through our friend, a rapper friend from Queens, this guy Despot, and he linked us up. And then some of the other characters, some of them were from Ariel's world, and other ones they went through somewhat of an audition process. When I say audition, it's not like they came in
Well,
and read
hold on.
lines.
It's a perfect example is with Necro. He was recording an album. He's producing somebody's album. So we were going to shoot a scene with that character, but we couldn't get in touch with him. So we had cast somebody else, and we were shooting the scene. And it just wasn't working. And he actually showed up in the middle of shooting that scene. And it was almost like.
Well, he was vague about it. He said he wanted to do it, but he was producing this album, so he wasn't sure he was going to be able to.
Yeah,
so he cast someone else, and then he surprised us by showing up.
He showed up on set, but like after we had shot half the day, and we just kind of switched
It wasn't
gears.
half the day, it was just an hour.
No, it was it was much later than an hour. It was like 1 o'clock. He showed up at 2 o'clock. We were shooting it at 9 o'clock in the morning. It's half the day.
But what we didn't shoot those scenes with.
We shot a lot of scenes with this other actor. You don't remember?
We shot
a lot of. It was a lot of different takes though. We had already done a full. The scene was almost fully covered, whether he realizes it or not.
I have one last question. When you guys do your movies, when you make your films, do you guys have like a certain goal? Is it you guys want to tell a story? How does that process work?
We want to make the greatest film ever made. That's the goal, and each time you think that you achieve it, every filmmaker thinks that the greatest. There's this amazing cartoon from Mad Magazine where it's like one strip is that Ronnie, our co-writer, shows me all the time. It's just to remind me. One strip is they're on set and there's these actors and they're telling a joke, but you don't know what. And the crew and everyone find it to be unbearably hilarious. Like people are crying. It's so funny. And then the next panel is that same scene shown in a movie theater, and it's just a bunch of people like sitting in the theater like completely unamused by it. And that disposition is really like, you try to take your enthusiasm that you have, and from every level, from getting an actor to be in your movie to having an audience member feel what you want them to feel, and the level of success is matched when those kind of levels meet. And you realize, okay, our level of enthusiasm is matching the audience's level of enthusiasm. And the vibe that we wanted to put out there is the vibe that's felt and lingers. And this movie still sticks with me. So the fact that people come up to me and say, I saw this movie 6 months ago and I still think about it. It still haunts me in my sleep. That's a level of success. And I think that's when you've made a great film. And I don't think, I think that we made a great movie. So, that's the goal, is to make a great movie, not good movie.